Hey everyone, so for this week's episode, we are going to be deciding on a movie to watch separately. Then we're going to come back together and we're going to discuss that movie. However, we do not know until a couple moments from now what that movie is going to be. So we are going to go ahead and run this cycler. What'd you call it, Slater?
No, I mean it's just a dumb little program. It's a randomizer thingy.
Cool. So we're going to run this randomizer. So we're going to see what movie we are all going to watch this week. And then when we come back after our intro, that's what we're going to discuss.
And the winner is Sisu.
Sisu! Hey! All right. Thank you so much, Slater. So this week we will be watching Sisu, and then we'll be right back so that we can discuss it. Hello and welcome to the Dying Carcasses, episode 14. My name is Alec.
I'm Alec.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Jacob today.
You almost messed up, Slater. You almost gave your full legal name, didn't you?
No.
Cool. How's everyone
Alexander
doing today?
Livingston Reed. It's good. We're good.
Good.
Yeah. It's good as yesterday or whenever the last time you listened to this podcast was.
Last episode is what I like to say. So then we don't actually let people know how often we see each other. Yeah, I'm doing good. Dealing with kid stuff today, you know. Got Sienna running around the house causing chaos, but that's the norm, honestly. And so, but I got to sleep in today, so that's good. I don't get to do that much often. You know, Thursdays are one of the few days that Val, when she takes the boys to school, she typically takes Sienna with her, so that way I can catch up on some sleep. So I appreciate her for that. But yeah. So what's good? What's everyone been watching, listening to, doing this week? What do you guys want to chat about?
Well, this episode I watched Dr. Stone.
Oh, nice.
It was
it's a fun one.
So good. So
good.
like
the
that
new
one.
season is out and it's airing currently. It's fantastic. It's a great show.
I have never heard of that show. Can you tell me about it?
Anime. You don't
It
know
teaches
how
kids how to make
anime.
gunpowder. It's awesome.
Mhm.
It does. It's a very science-based show about, if humanity hated itself so much that someone wanted to turn everyone into stone, and then you reawakened thousands of years later, and you're the smartest man on earth, what would you do?
It's Idiocracy.
No, the guy's actually smart.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's just the journey of a young man who is thousands of years old now,
Gotcha.
and how to
How long
reawaken society.
How long has the show been around?
I think this is its 4th season.
Okay. Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of animes that, like, my wide-ranging knowledge of different animes is not super out there. There's a small handful of a few that, like, I, watch a lot and revisit and things like that. And so
I think this one also might be pretty kid friendly. I'll have to review it, but I think it's there's not a lot of tropes that are scary for children.
Mhm.
It's designed for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean the boys, they've been watching Naruto actually.
Nice.
Oh, then yeah, they'd be fine.
Yeah,
okay.
This is so light.
You should show
I don't
them.
even think there's boobies in Dr. Stone.
No.
No, that's why I like it.
That's why Slater likes it.
You should watch Cowboy Bebop with your kids.
I would love, like, once they're old enough, I would love to watch Cowboy Bebop with them. That
It's a
is
great
that is
show.
one series that I have seen. What about you, Jared? What's good?
Not much. Just watch Sisu this morning. So
You got a garbage truck outside, it sounds like.
yep, garbage day.
Hold for audio. Actually, Jared, can you repeat that?
We didn't catch you the first time.
So anyway, yeah, just watched Sisu this morning.
Okay.
Didn't really get to sleep in too long because I had 2 auditions I had to get in.
Oh,
One voiceover and one I don't know what you call it, but it's basically a photo shoot, but for a commercial. So whatever that technical term would be.
what do you mean, like a photo shoot for a commercial? Like it's
Yeah, because the last time I did something like this, it was like pictures and video. So they have us acting out these scenes, yet
Mhm.
none of the audio is being taken, but it's used for a commercial, but
Oh.
it's also used for promotions like on not billboards, but that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's called something else. It's not an industrial, but yeah, I'll just say a commercial.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I get what you're talking about.
Have you been booking more stuff recently, Jared?
No, I have not booked
Hmm.
anything since the start of this year, except just theater.
But you've been hustling on auditions and stuff, though, right?
Yeah.
Or are you not getting as much as you used to?
No, it was slow at the very start, and then as soon as I opened my mouth, it was like 4 or 5 per week, at least. So
Open your
it's
mouth like
been
brought it up that you weren't getting
yeah.
very
I was
many.
like, dang,
No, no, no.
why is this so?
It's a Weinstein type of situation.
And still no bookings. Why? I opened my mouth. Yeah, so I don't know. It's been rough though, because I feel like I also shooting myself in the foot because of rehearsals and work. I've just been kind of last minute getting it in, and sometimes they
Mhm.
kind of already have their choices pretty early on. So
Gotcha.
something I'm going to change. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So I'm going to try to start jumping on it if I have the time. But at the same time, too, I've been declining some because it's during a rehearsal or during a performance, and I just can't do it too. So, yeah, but it's all good. It's all gravy,
Okay.
baby.
Nice. Slater, what's good?
I'm currently holding a yard sale. Just get rid of all my stuff before we move down to Dondo.
Mhm.
And so that's been going well. Other
Do you
than
have a
that,
place in Redondo yet?
oh, I don't have it yet. No, we've
Okay.
been looking though. We're talking to a few people. But other than that, man, I picked up my bass the other day for the first time in a long time before I went to bed yesterday, and that was great, man. Just picking up, trying to remember some of the songs that I knew. It's good for the
Nice.
soul.
I didn't know you had a bass.
I've had it for ages,
like
decades at this point.
like
Okay.
posted videos of him playing it.
I
It's
don't
okay.
think I've ever seen videos of you playing it personally.
Okay,
Like,
Alec doesn't.
call me crazy.
We know you don't pay very close attention, Alec, but nah, I'm messing with you.
All right. So for my what's good this week, I took Slater's advice and I decided my what's good is not media related. I guess not directly media related. I will say it has to do with like watching something. But I mean, I feel like you guys know this about me. I am totally the type of person whenever I show somebody something, looking over every 5 seconds like, eh?
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
I'm 100% that person. But part of the reason why I'm like that is because, I'm when we've when Val and I have talked about like love language stuff, like I'm absolutely like a quality time person. Like I don't even have to be part of the conversation. I don't have to be part of the event. Just sharing the space with people that I love, like that's what speaks to my soul. And so that's why I like enjoying things with people. Earlier today, uh I put my phone down, Slater, and I was just playing. Sienna wanted to watch Moana, so I turned on the movie for her, and I just sat there at one point, and I was just watching her watch it, and being able to like see the emotion on her face, like change, just all of like the natural like ticks that her face does, and like the way her eyes lit up during certain parts. She started singing along at different moments, like. I love my kids, and my watching my daughter enjoy something like that, my god, I could live there all day, genuinely. Like, it warmed my heart so much. Nothing else in the world mattered to me in that moment, being able to watch her. And I know I'm not helping you guys with your kid fever, Slater, but I I it was amazing just to watch her enjoy something like that.
I love
That
that,
was
man.
that was a what's good for me this week.
That's
Dude,
the
see what
what's
putting
good
down
for
your
the
phone will
year.
do for you.
It's so
Shut
nice.
up.
Good job.
Shut up, man.
Did you get a video of it? Did you record the entire event?
I
put it on
I'm
Instagram
just
for
kidding.
me.
Please, I'm glad you did. I'm just
No,
kidding.
honestly, I thought about it. Like, I really want to show you guys this, like, her enjoying this, because I genuinely had that thought. But I'm like, you know what? No, for two reasons. One, if I started recording her, like, it would have distracted her. The second she sees herself in a camera, she's like, "Hey, what's going on over there? Look at it's me."
Sounds
She
just
talks like
her.
that. You
Yeah.
guys haven't heard her speak in a while. That's how she sounds. But also,
Puberty came hard.
and early. And
It's crazy work,
but-
Jacob.
But yeah, I just wanted to. I wanted to sit in the moment. I'm very big. Like Val, Val gets frustrated with me for it, but like I don't record stuff like that often. I'm very much a sit in the moment type person.
Yeah.
So,
That's how we should be. That's
Good.
how we were raised.
all right, we're gonna take a quick little ad break, and when we come back, we're gonna get into our movie review of Sisu. At this point, the term woke means effectively nothing because it has taken on too many meanings to be considered a workable term. However, in one of its later incarnations, woke was something akin to etiquette in simple terms. It is the call to not be cruel to strangers who appear different from you. Now, most people don't mind etiquette or being polite. Politeness is, after all, an invisible handshake, a social agreement to avoid negative interaction. The presence of politeness implies that two parties are unlikely to betray each other. It is an initial trust agreement. Of course, we all know this is not exactly true. In fact, etiquette is sometimes used to manipulate, which often leads to harm, physical or mental. While we all love our Southern charm, we all know deep down that it is fickle and oftentimes the mark of a deviant such as Ted Bundy. So realistically, woke is not your enemy in the same way that manners are not the problem regarding manipulation. What you fear is that if you allow more systems of etiquette, you will be more easily fooled by nefarious forces who wish to harm you. So now, you see, woke is not the enemy, but your own perception and capacity for being fooled. Woke isn't the bad guy. Bad guys are the bad guys. Paid for by Soros and Friends Incorporated.
All of that was just for the joke at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we have pill. You just take one daily. You take it with 16 ounces of water, and then the ingredients dissolve in your belly. What happens when pill dissolves is that it does something. You can't say that about some things, but pill does something, which is why you should have pill. If you see a doctor and they prescribe you pill, but you want to see a doctor first so that they can make sure that you're eligible for pill. If you're not eligible for pill, well, I wouldn't recommend taking it with 16 ounces of water because then pill might not do something for you. But if you are eligible, it means pill will do something for you. Try pill today. Side effects include imminent death. You will die and it will hurt. Do not take pill.
And welcome back to the Dying Carcasses. So, per our opening, we have a series that we're starting called like a Rando movie review, and we set up, or Slater specifically set up a program that would basically randomly select a movie of movies that none of us, or at least most of us, have not seen. I think we decided like as long as half of us haven't seen it, then we'll go off of that. But yeah, so the randomly selected movie, as you have already listened to and seen, is Sisu, a movie from 2022. Sisu is an action war film structured into 7 distinct chapters that follow a Finnish prospector fighting Nazis to protect his gold. So, just to throw it off of the bat, what did you guys think of this movie?
What did
So
you say?
I did I
That's a
talked
phrase,
through this
isn't it?
whole-
Throw it
off
I
the
talked
bat.
through off a bat, off a bat, which is where this movie should have gone.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Should have been hit with a bat over and over again, maybe.
Same.
I just don't. The thing I talked through the whole movie because I think there was maybe about 3 to 5 pages of actual dialogue that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of dead space for me to just vocalize how I was feeling in the moment, and how I felt wasn't good. The thing that I said over and over again was, why did they make this movie? I don't understand. And then the other thing I said was, if you've seen the poster for this movie, you've seen the movie. And that was
Very correct.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate how accurate that is, because I love art, and I love when people make things, and I think it's so cool that everyone's so creative.
Everyone's so creative.
I just I have like a whole breakdown of thoughts, but that was my initial feeling on it. I was mad about
Okay.
the horse. Once the horse was gone, I was upset.
I know that was like brutal.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh on camera.
I know. Should we do a spoiler alert or doesn't matter?
No.
I guess?
Yeah, Jared's never seen it.
I'm sorry. We will spoil this movie
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
spoil
we
it.
should.
Here's the thing: if we're doing like a full-on review, like, I just come into each of these reviews, audience, as it's gonna be spoiled 100%.
I guess
like,
if
we're
it's
not gonna
like
give it a
3 years
spoiler review
old,
at all.
it won't matter.
Yeah, like whatever. Even if we do a modern movie, like if you're coming into a review of the movie, just expect the dying carcasses. They're gonna spoil the whole thing. We're not gonna do unspoiled reactions or reviews of these movies. Just gonna lay it out there right now.
Shows how much Alec cares about our audience.
I don't care about any of you. Jared, what'd you think of the movie?
Yeah, I was actually watching it with Annika. She was peeking every now and again. But yeah, it's just she said God of War meets The Last of Us, and then I was like, yeah, and John Wick, Mission Impossible,
Johannes Wick.
Johannes Wick. Yeah. I think I ended up looking at the description because I was wondering again when it came out, and I was like, oh, okay. Because for some reason I was also expecting something maybe a little more dark as opposed, and then
Okay.
I saw action thriller, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, it's just gonna be bloody fun. And yeah, it was. There's a lot of moments there where I was just like, I don't know if you can do that, but you sure did it. And like going in with that perspective of the John Wick-esque, like it did its job. It did what it came to do. So I can't be mad at it. Wouldn't say I loved it, but
I can be mad at it. I'm mad. I normally am never one to hate on artists, but this time, I don't know. This one hit me in a specific way.
how do you feel about? Have you seen John Wick's? Any
No,
of those?
I haven't
No.
seen any of them.
Yeah.
You would, I think you would
okay.
like them comparatively. I
Oh,
really do.
100%. No, they're much better movies than this was.
I just
Oh.
feel like this was a movie that didn't need to be made because there's already movies that are like it enough that are better.
But not during World War II.
No,
Yeah.
What wasn't Inglorious Bastards like a
Yes.
World War
Not
II?
during World War II.
in the same way that what's the Guy Ritchie movie, The League of Ungentlemanly Gentlemen or whatever?
Gosh.
I think it's just
Warfare or
called The
whatever.
Gentleman.
The
I think it's
Gentleman.
just
No,
called-
no. It's like the
The
Council
League of
Un-
Extraordinary
Un-
Gentlemen?
That's not
what
Maybe
you're
I'll
talking
finish the sentence someday, Alec.
No!
It's like the Council of Ungentlemanly Warfare or something like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay.
I do now. I don't know why
'cause
you just didn't spit it out up front.
I'm gonna kill him. It felt like kind of like an Inglorious Bastards spin-off, kind of like when you used to go to Blockbuster and you saw like Transmorphers as opposed to Transformers or whatever.
Yep.
And Jared, I was gonna counter. You said it was fun and bloody. It was definitely bloody.
Okay, well, the first half was fun, and then it got like,
I agree. The second he threw the mines, I was like,
yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
exactly when
ridiculous.
that was when we went.
It was like when the mines were
on.
thrown and they didn't even explode, but they just kind of vaporized.
It-
Yeah.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, that doesn't feel based in reality, but I'll accept it.
Yeah. Because it's funny you say the John Wicks are better. I don't know if I could say that. Like, and I enjoy John Wicks. Have you seen
I think that the
haven't
action
seen
Like, let
sequences...
Jared finish his thought.
Also, he hasn't seen it. You haven't seen him, right?
Yes, I have. I've seen all
Oh,
of them.
you have. I thought you
haven't
said you
seen
had.
him.
Oh, just Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Jared, can
because
you-
I was going to say... Like,
Jared,
one-
finish your thought. Jared, finish your thought. He wasn't done talking when you interrupted.
Give me a sec. Hang on, pause. What's up?
Finish it now while you have a chance.
What's up, baby? Finish your thought,
Was-
Jared.
I don't know if I could agree that John Wick is better. Maybe overall story but like it's kind of the same thing, just watching somebody. Well, John Wick had a little bit more of a reason to. I think this one is kind of rough because it's like gold. I'm just gonna live for gold, and it's like, oh, that's kind of gross. And then it also made me think like maybe he's not really, which he's not. He's kind of an anti-hero. But yeah, I wouldn't. I would say they're about the same. I think some of the cinematography in this was a little better than John Wick for sure.
I agree with that.
And but John Wick definitely way better fighting sequences for
Well, and
sure.
I think that's my argument too, is like it was done better. Like, yeah, you can like they're very similar concepts to movies, yes, but I think John Wick is much better because it was done so much better. Like, if you look at the action sequences and how they're choreographed and all that kind of stuff, this movie didn't have like barely any choreography. It was throw a mine at the fucking guy and watch him explode. Like John Wick, like the action sequences are done super well and they're much more entertaining. You know what I mean?
And I would say my issue, the reason that I would agree with Alec on this one isn't actually even necessarily the fight sequences. It's that Sisu felt like it couldn't really find its spine. Like, is this a comedy thriller? Kind of, but it's not really that funny. I don't know. Yeah, like it didn't feel like it was a complete idea. You know what I mean? From start to finish. Like, I feel like whoever wrote the screenplay had an idea of what he wanted, and it was probably funnier. And then whoever took over on the production was like, no.
Well, the guy wrote
Let's
it
not
and
do that.
directed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then that guy was a fool. No, but yeah, it didn't. I couldn't find its spirit. I couldn't find its soul.
Yeah. So what I wrote about it was overall fun action movie reminiscent of old 80s badass action heroes. Definitely had fun with it, but super cartoony and unrealistic in how much the guy is able to survive. Also, the Nazis were so freaking dumb with their decision making that they basically were written to be that dumb for the story to continue. And the biggest
Idiot
thing
plot.
what was that?
It's an idiot plot.
Yeah, exactly. And so the biggest thing that I kept going back to, it's so funny how hard this movie wanted to be a Tarantino movie in so many aspects of it. Like, killing Nazis, let it be fun, big action,
Chapter
chapters.
setup, yeah.
Yeah, like literally my first note that I wrote down was that's a lot of logos. Like they had so many production companies behind this. But my first real note about the movie was, is this a prequel to Pulp Fiction, specifically like the gold and the way it shined on the guy's face? Like it literally is. It wanted to be a Tarantino movie so bad.
Yeah, it was like Tarantino without the fun. That's pretty much what I have to say.
Yeah.
And then it was just I mean, it's Grindhouse, so like it's very
Yeah.
violent and that's exciting and all, but at a point it's just desensitizing. It's just kind of like, oh, there's another organ or a limb or something exploding everywhere. I don't know. It loses a lot of its like even with Inglourious Bastards, there's like a couple scenes of violence, but most of it is build up to those sequences.
Yeah.
Which makes them more effective. Like the last scene where you see Hitler's face explode, it's jarring, but it's earned. It's all. I felt like none of the violence in Sisu was earned at all. Like it's not a serious war movie. Like this is like what war is like, guts and stuff. It's like who cares?
It's not a war movie. It's just
not.
like the backdrop is war, but it has nothing to do with the war itself.
Nope.
Like there's no reason to root for this character. We've already established that the character's whole family died in a previous war, so it's like, why do we care about him now? Like he's not even fighting for anything other than himself.
Right.
And he doesn't even say anything the whole film, which I don't hate as a utility for writing characters, but even when he did speak, it had no value or substance, and it just, I don't know.
Large
it made
bills,
me
please.
mad because I was like, why are you spending so much money on this film? Like, why are all these production companies like, this seems like a good idea? And it's like, for who? Whose vanity project was this?
I mean, it made a ton of money though. So
I mean, it made
it's
enough.
I was gonna look at that because I didn't look at the afterwards, but
made enough.
I wanted to look up the. Yeah, there was a sequel, so I don't know. I just didn't understand because I wanted to know who this movie was actually written for. Like, who actually went out and watched this movie, and then why did they enjoy it, whereas I seemingly cannot?
Yeah. Well, here, let's go through the movie. We can go through like chapter at a time. Because like I mentioned, that's one thing that the movie does. There are 7 chapters that it goes through, so it'll make it easy for like a breakdown of it. So the first chapter is titled "The Gold." It introduces the main character Atami Korpi finding a large vein of gold in the Lapland wilderness, Lapland of Finland specifically. And so, yeah, I had already mentioned my note that this when he finds the gold and then the gold shines on his face. Like my first thought was it's a prequel to Pulp Fiction or trying to be. But to speak to what you were talking about, Jacob, my next note that I wrote down was why do we care about him? Like they didn't even introduce like his backstory until like chapter 4, like halfway through the movie. And so that entire first chapter where he's like finding gold and like, yeah, he gets excited about it and you see these scars on his body. My thought was like, okay, but why do we care about this character? Like, there's nothing at the beginning that gives us a reason to care about him at all. It's just some random guy digging for gold with his dog and horse in tow. And so,
I'm going to
but one,
compare that. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the last point I was going to make. One thing that I will say that's positive about it that I enjoyed. I do like the show don't tell aspect of the storytelling, at least in the first and second act, where a lot of it is show, very little tell. And kind of like, again, to your point, Jacob, like that can be done well. And so I appreciated that aspect of it. Whether or not they did it well is not really what I'm commenting on.
I think for one of the things with the beginning that I thought was interesting, asking that question, Alex. So if you watch There Will Be Blood, the opening is very similar to an extent. But the difference is P.T. Anderson makes you care about, what is it, Plainview?
Yeah,
whatever his name is. Daniel Plainview. Makes you care about Daniel Plainview because the first thing that happens, well, not the first thing, after like a few minutes, he gets hurt. And he grabs, these chunks of stuff, of crude, solidified crude or whatever that is, and drags himself across the desert. So like that initial opening already makes you care about Daniel Plainview because you're seeing someone with a lot of drive. You're seeing somebody put a lot of effort into something, even if you don't necessarily understand what you're looking at. You don't see the same effort with this character from Sisu. What is his name? Korpi? Korpi?
What was it? Atami Korpi.
Yeah. You just see him find gold, and it's like, okay, now what? You think there's going to be an introduction of a more interesting character. Honestly, the worst thing that they did was make the Nazis more interesting than the good guy. Like, ooh.
Yeah, they were trying to humanize the Nazis a lot in this movie.
I think there was a big tone problem with the movie because I felt like what I wrote down was it opens like it's going to be profound. It's slow, it's intentional, it's symbolic, but then it doesn't go anywhere. It's just a bunch of empty time pretending to be meaning.
Yeah.
And that was just frustrating because it made this movie feel so much slower than it actually was. Because each chapter is like 10, 15 minutes maybe.
Well, and that's the thing. It's an hour and a half, the movie. And I was like, is this movie still going? I actually watched it. Like, granted, this is because of my time and ability to watch it, but I had to watch it in 2 parts. I wasn't able to finish it in one go. And so it made the movie feel so much longer than it actually was.
Chapter 1, I mean, also just like I liked a lot of the lighting itself was cool, but what the lighting was trying to communicate didn't make sense. It's like, oh, the gold shined on his face, but I'm like looking at the background of the sky. I'm like, there's no sun. I'm like, where is the light source coming from? And then I'm like, okay, it's dramatic, cool, but there was a lot of physics that didn't make sense to me, and I get really pissed off at movies that choose to ignore physics and choose to ignore logic, to a point where I just get frustrated. So that's why I have a struggle with a lot of horror movies. Is the commentary that I kind of like kept coming back to was I feel the same way about this movie that I feel about bad horror movies when the characters are making illogical decisions and like, oh well, let's all split up, and I'm like, why would you split up? That doesn't make sense in this scenario. It's like it's a lot of that same logic that I was getting pissed off at.
That's why Cabin in the Woods is one of the best horror films, honestly. They justify all of that.
Yeah.
I do not like that movie.
I love that movie, dude. It's so funny.
Movie.
It's so but that one's way more consistent than Sisu. Because, Jacob, I don't have the same problem where it's like, yeah, if you want to mess with physics. Now, if your motorcycle that you're riding in the last scene has electronics on the handlebars, which I'm pretty sure This one did. I'm gonna get a little cranky about it, but like I'm not too irritated by disregard of physics if you're consistent with it, and if you're really trying to make a Saturday morning cartoon type of thing. Like the Coen brothers do that. We were just talking about Hudsucker Proxy the other day. The Coen brothers do that brilliantly, but it's consistent. This movie did not do it consistently, and it took you out every time you saw something not make sense. It was like, oh, I guess the movie's kind of like this now, or and it just never held. It never held its line. Not well.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you, Jacob, by the way.
Yeah. Did you have anything to comment on chapter 1, Jared?
No. You guys covered it.
Okay, cool. Moving on to chapter 2, the Nazis. Tommy encounters a brutal Nazi platoon. Biggest things I got out of this were, I mean, I guess maybe I can't remember. Yeah, I think this was still this one where he's like picking up the gold, and I'm like, this goes back to like Nazis making dumb decisions. Like, why just shoot him? Like, he's standing right there. Why are you letting him pick this shit up? But like, the two notes that I had written down for this section were the stormtroopers shoot like stormtroopers, and he uses the Captain America blocking method, and it actually works.
Oh, is that when he's like walking? He's like they're shooting. He just like made a bunch of the mines go off, and then he's walking backwards with his like panning thing.
So
or is that chapter 3? I don't know.
That's chapter 3.
No.
Well, chapter 3 is when the mines come into play.
Oh.
Chapter 2 is when he first initially gets shot at because there's that first platoon of Nazis that he encounters before the main group of Nazis comes
you're right.
after him.
Yeah.
And so when that first group of Nazis is shooting at him, they were shooting at the dog who was running away first, and I'm like, wow, they shoot awful, like stormtroopers out of Star Wars. But then he starts like using the pan as like a shield that's like the size of a Captain America shield, and he's literally just holding it up in the top half.
No.
That was during the mines.
That's the mines one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can't remember.
the other
exactly.
one, that's the one where he stabs him through the head and then kills somebody with his
that's right. Okay.
helmet. And yeah.
Which was a cool shot. I liked that moment. I was like, oh, cool. But that was where my enjoyment ended.
No, my enjoyment kind of ended when the chapter sign first showed up. I was like, oh, we're just gonna do Hugo Stiglitz the movie, and I don't think I want to watch this.
See, but the horse was still alive at this point, so I was still invested because I care a lot about my animal friends, and so I was like, cool, the horses made it through. We made it through the dog. That's cool. I hope they're the heroes of this story, and so there was a little bit of hope for me.
When I think like when I was looking back at the trailer, which I'll come back to because I didn't watch the trailer until after I finished watching the movie. I feel like when the trailers were first coming out for this movie, like I thought like the dog's name was Sisu or something like that, and it was about like wartime and this dog fighting alongside this guy, and he's like the hero. Like I genuinely thought like the dog was the hero of this movie when I first saw the trailer of it years ago. So it's funny that you bring that up.
I think one of the other promotional things they said about the movie in the trailer was, this is a fun movie for people who hate Nazis. It's like, let's watch a Nazi killer movie. It was like that was one of the main points of the film being made.
Well, if you go into it just with that expectation, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, but then it's a movie for just the dumbest person you've ever known. Like, obviously everybody hates Nazis except for the people who are them. But I don't know. That's such a low bar, demographic. I don't know. Make something interesting. What if you made a movie that was fun for people who like an interesting thing? I don't know.
But yeah, we can move into chapter 3, the minefield. The Nazis attempt to take the gold, leading to intense action with the first major dialogue appearing here. I mean, the mine scene was entertaining and it was funny the way it delivered into it. That's basically the most positive thing I could say about this section. Just like fun action. This is kind of where I made the comparison to like, 80s action movies where it's just like brutality, think like Rambo or something like that. But again, the logic behind it, how did he pick up the mine and throw it at them? Like scoop it up when I'm pretty sure that's not how landmines work. You can't, correct me if I'm wrong, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure you can't just like scoop up a mine and throw it like that without it going off.
I think it's just a pressure plate and then explosives. So I think technically you could, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, we'll try it out and see if it works. We'll Mythbusters this situation. But
you have children, don't do that.
You could have the children do it.
Yeah, the children do it. But I did see our little connection to one of our inside jokes where the Nazis asked them, "How many mines did you plant out there?" And what was their response?
All of
All
them.
of them.
All of them.
Which
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense from a, I don't know, I just, like,
Yeah.
military wise, that doesn't even make sense.
Exactly.
No.
Like, they already burned everything that came from behind them, and they're like, oh,
Yep.
well, let's keep putting more mines down. But then again, I don't know anything about warfare or even like the idea of what it could have been. So I kept like being like, this doesn't feel like it would make sense to me. But like, I don't know anything about this, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna suspend my disbelief. I had to keep
Exactly.
telling myself, suspend your disbelief, Jacob. It'll be okay.
I had to do
Suspend
that
it.
a lot for this movie. Yeah.
I did like the moment where they're letting him go away, and you're like, why are they? Why? Right before the horse gets exploded. I don't know. As soon like there was just
okay.
one
That was solid.
second longer that I was like, oh my god, it's mine. You know, right when it blew up, and I thought that was really clever. I do still really like the moments where they didn't talk and kept you wondering, because I still will die on this hill. I don't think John Wick is better. I don't think this is better by far. But I don't. What you guys are saying right now, it's like that's John Wick. That's literally John Wick. At the same, it's just better fight sequences or whatever. Maybe there's a little bit more for this hero because his dog dies. But outside of that, kind of the same thing. Especially like John Wick having a freaking jacket that blocks bullets. We don't need to get into that, but I'm just gonna keep mentioning all the good things I liked about this movie.
I'll say this: I like John Wick better because it's American.
Okay, well, here, just
Noted.
to comment again on that real quick. Maybe it's the fact. Maybe I think it's better and I like it better. Yes, the action sequences and all that kind of stuff. But John Wick, it delivers to you and it doesn't try and hide what it's trying to be. This one just feels like it's trying to be pretentious. And I don't get that vibe from John Wick. John Wick is fun, action, enjoyable time where I can just shut off my brain, that kind of thing. I feel like because I saw so many connections where this was trying to be a Tarantino movie, I felt like it was trying to be pretentious in a lot of ways.
I didn't think it was trying to be. Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
I have to preface too, like, neither of these movies are made for me personally. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not a huge like action for action fan. I'm very much rooted in like narrative and story and following. I rarely just have fun at movies just because they're a fun movie. That's just not my speed. I like things that are generally like, they tend to be dark and depressing because of like how much narrative goes into them. So it's really hard for me to enjoy a movie that's just a bunch of shooting, a bunch of guns, a bunch of Nazis for no reason other than to just like watch stuff being blown up. So that's
Mhm.
just like that's a me thing in general.
I also think this is. I think it's. I still think it's the worst rendition of that type of movie as well. Because like, Alec, I disagree with you. If you think of Rambo, Rambo has some ridiculous stuff in it, but again, it's consistent. It's got a spine. Sisu doesn't have a spine. Like, I don't even think it was trying to be pretentious because I don't think it
Well,
knew what it was supposed to be.
The first Rambo, yeah, I feel like the First Blood, like that one actually has like an actual good story that it's
Yeah.
trying to follow. But once you get into the later Rambos, like
Yeah. Got it. But either way, regardless, I think the movie just didn't have a spine. This was a terrible movie for you, Jacob, but I think it's also just a terrible movie for everybody.
Well, and then this is getting into one of the points that really pissed me off when I was watching it. From a narrative perspective, they have the women who they're keeping in the back of the car. They kind of show them for the first time. They give one of them a few lines who's like, "No, I'll do it. I'll go out for my friend instead."
Mhm.
And then they tie them together and have them walk in front. But then the next time you really see them, they're just back in the car again. So it doesn't really make sense of like what was the purpose of them walking out in front other than being some sort of like sacrifice, but it doesn't really explain like what they're putting them up against other than the fact that they've sent a bunch of their own men out to die in the minefield.
I think that was the idea behind it, was to make it through where the minefield ends, and then once they made it through the minefield, then they brought them back in the car. That's just me.
Yeah,
trying to
Annika
justify
actually
it.
had a worse idea. She thought they were going to tie them, let them go, and like pull him back or something like that.
Yeah.
And something horrible. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
like
that, and
slide
then
him across the minefield, essentially.
or no, like let them go, and then you can see how far until the
Long.
next. I don't know. It just for them to be tied together, I was like, that absolutely makes no sense. So now one's gonna blow up, and you're gonna be stuck to this. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I still don't get what the point
No,
was.
it was a sequence. Like I agree with you, Jared. Actually, I think yeah, it was supposed to be something of like a human shield sort of situation, and yeah, I guess you could like the way that old ships used to measure depth by just throwing a rope down that had notches in it.
Mm.
But more than that, yeah, it was a sequence that was supposed to add tension that just didn't. You know what I mean? Because it was short lived, first of all, but also it was just weird. They were also still too close to the tanks. Like you still would have
Yeah.
done damage to the tracks. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Whatever.
It felt like a veiled threat, but only for the audiences. Like it was a veiled
Yeah.
threat at the audience. And
Yeah,
that was
I
something
don't
where I
know
was
if
like,
it's supposed to blow up.
Yeah.
right. And I was like, it wasn't even a risk. It's not like the guy who's, I'm just going to call him Sisu. I don't know what that's wrong. But like,
I mean, you're
the
not
main character, the hero of the story, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, he can't, if they're trying to like get his attention by having the women out in front, that doesn't really make sense. He doesn't care about them. I don't know. It was,
Yeah.
anyway, that was my, and then the lack of female interaction with each other at all. None of the other women spoke. And what's that test where like
The Bechdel test.
the Bechdel test? It's like,
Mhm.
okay, not a single another woman didn't speak to the other woman.
Frankly,
Failed that test.
I don't
Which
really
I don't
care if
care,
it's.
I didn't
Okay.
care, but at the same time, I was just.
This movie ain't passing the Bechdel test.
No.
Then comes Chapter 4, The Legend. This explores the reputation of Atami as a one-man death squad. And this is where, kind of like what you're speaking to, Jacob, like the moment where that one woman does like the most speaking. But I think this is when he's like, it's after the mine sequence before, like as he's like trying to cross the river. The notes that I wrote down for this section where he has a wound and his solution is to rub some dirt on it. They find him and he's limping towards the river. He's literally limping and you could easily just shoot him, but he decides to release the dogs instead. What the fuck? They're giving off very attack him one at a time vibes. And also, I wrote down when he's hiding underwater in the river, he's slitting a guy's throat underwater and sucking the air out of his fucking lungs. What is this movie?
That could have been really funny, or really intense, or really cool, but it was none of those things. Unfortunately, it was just like it was just. Alec, you know what? I gave you a lot of crap not too long ago for it's just images on a screen. That was just images on a screen. It did absolutely nothing. Meant nothing. It was for nothing. It was like watching the news.
That's when the physics started to piss me off, was under the water. I was like, no, I'm sorry.
That was crazy. But
What?
I've never seen that before. I've
never
seen anyone
before
do
either.
it.
It's true.
I will say that.
As my buddy Max once said about 21 Pilots, everybody's praising them because they're doing something that nobody's ever done before. But the reason that nobody's ever done it before is because it sucks.
I mean, I liked the idea of it from a conceptual point, but it just, again, it didn't hit it.
It didn't make sense. Like, I'm pretty sure that's something you can't do. Like, you cut open somebody's fucking throat underwater. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to suck the air out of their lungs at that point.
It lacked intensity for everything that was. Jared, I agree. It was shocking when I for a moment when it showed up. I was like, oh, I get what he's doing. That's really weird and cool, kind of in a way. But it wasn't intense enough to be like, whoa. And it wasn't. It's just at no point did it feel serious enough for me to buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and
my
for me to
issue
go into
with
the
it.
science of it for a second. In order for him to not take water into his lungs, he would have to have a tight enough seal on the opening of the wound in order for air not to be escaping.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that there was so much air escaping, just it I don't know. I know too much about water, but anyway, yeah. So I was like, again, it was like, cool,
Says the
nice,
lifeguard.
yeah. And then when they're all like shooting at the water and then under the water and they're missing all the time, then they're like one buddy who's like, I'm gonna desert, even though they already like didn't follow instructions and technically deserted already. They're like, oh, I'm going to shoot this guy, and one single shot accurately hits him.
Totally.
I was like, wow, they can't hit anything except for their own people.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Nazis.
I can't remember if it's the same section or if it moves on to the chapter 5, but I'll just go ahead and talk about the next chapter 5, Scorched Earth. The violence intensifies as a Tommy fights back against the Nazis. There's a scene where he's like running away with one of the Nazis on his back. There's absolutely no fucking way a body on his back is absorbing the force of turret shots, which is exactly what happened. Also, this feels awful to say, but strapping a bomb to the dog was the smartest decision the Nazis made in the entire movie, like as a way to like blow him up.
And after last episode, we know it's because you're kind of into that, right?
No.
Throwing hamsters, leaving dead dogs in your garage, maybe
And then
maybe burying them alive. We
Stop
don't know.
Stop it. That was all my father, by the way, not me. But
all right, fart sniffer.
And then they hang him up, and like his way of making so that he doesn't actually like suffocate or anything is getting his leg wound stuck on like a nail, like puncturing himself to hold him up enough that he survives. Absolutely fucking unnecessary to add in him saving himself by puncturing himself. Like, why? That's something that I didn't need to see.
No, he was going through so much pain. The point is that, see, again, this is why I say it was a lousy movie. That could have been really effective, right? If it's about his survival, you would do anything to stay alive or whatever. But it wasn't. You knew he was going to be fine. Like, the second they hanged him, I was like, oh, okay, I can't wait to see him come back to life through a miracle of Jesus and just go on doing whatever stupid thing he's been doing the whole time. No, there were no stakes in this whole movie. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. What else do you guys have to say about this section?
This is the section in the shack or with the plane.
Yeah.
I want to hear what Jared liked about it.
I thought the set looked super dope. I was like, I don't know where they shot this, especially for it to be 2022. I was like, I don't know where this is in Finland, but this is a sick set. I thought that was cool. And it was like the scorched earth kind of looked like CGI maybe, but that you could tell it was a real set. And the plane.
Yeah.
And the costumes were great too.
The production quality was immaculate for what it was.
Dumbest movie
ever. Yeah, no, they did a really good, like, production wise. I was really impressed. I just was not impressed by the story.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Jared. They did so freaking well with their set design and their costuming and stuff like that. And it had a real gritty look. It had a real serious look.
Like the shots in the tank where I thought always looked really sick with the lighting right there. He was blue and then the yellow and the drawings and stuff. And then, the music in the beginning was so dope, I thought.
It was really
nice.
The
music was really cool. And then that kind of just disappeared, I feel like. I don't remember any of the music, but Annika said it felt very, what was it? Was it Norse or...
Sure. It was,
Scandinavian-ish.
Tall white people
Nordic,
far away.
Thank you. Nordic.
Like the Nordic track.
Yeah, as the movie goes along, the amount of substance just decreases perpetually. It's wild. So then chapter 6, Kill 'Em All, the penultimate battle chapter. I will say, if I came across a rope that was used to hang someone and it showed up in a plane ahead of me, I'd be terrified too. You couldn't tell if when the tank like ran over two different bodies, the guys on the motorcycle, they saw the first body and they're like, what was that?
No, they said is that one of ours? Is
that one of ours? And then the second body that was squished was like, was that Jen's? And they're like, you couldn't tell if one squished body was one of yours, but then you immediately recognize a guy named Jens who looks like the exact same squashed body. When he scares the guys off the motorcycle, funny moment scaring them off the motorcycle, but you could have literally just killed him right there. Like the guys on the motorcycle could have just killed the hero right then and there. Badass women walking in a line with guns. This movie really wants to be a Tarantino movie. Were you going to say something, Jacob?
Yeah. Yes. I'm just going to talk more about how the reality of like the decision making of the characters and the director wouldn't make sense logically in a world where they're trying to set this up as a thing that happens in reality, but then is some sort of now like mystical action movie. So it's like, why did the women have to get out of the car at all?
Exactly.
Why couldn't they have like pulled up in the truck still?
I was actually expecting, on that note, I was expecting when the two guys got off of the motorcycle and started running back, I really wanted the funny beat of the truck appearing out of the fog and just running them both over. I wanted that
killing
so
him, like,
bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And they I don't know, whatever, anyway.
Yeah, that was all I had to say.
Yeah, I had the exact same thought. I'm like, so you guys are going to go back to help this immortal man for some reason now and not take the car.
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
Because you need the tank to go home, because that's so much cooler. And I think there was supposed to be this, I think we missed it, but I think there was supposed to be this moment where he buries the gold and he's like, it doesn't matter. I was wondering, with, no dialogue, if that was supposed to be this moment where, what is all this killing and death for? Because then he stops killing people, essentially, except the guy in the plane, and then the guy at the very end. But he stops doing all of the like crazy, murders. And I guess that's why the girls kept the fat guy on the tank. But then it just all was for nothing, and then he grabbed the gold and flew. So I didn't understand what that was supposed to be, and I know it was trying to be meaningful. But yeah, that was something I didn't understand, because I was like, oh, what's going to change? And then, nothing. I'm just going to pour gasoline on myself and heal myself. Oh yeah, and he set himself on fire. We forgot to talk about that cool scene before
that was
he
cool.
Water.
I liked that.
No, I mean, I don't know why he had to set himself on fire. But
right.
That was hilarious.
I mean, he was trying to cauterize, but like in the dumbest way ever.
Before he jumped in the water.
Oh, I don't remember.
The boat scene, he was pouring himself with gasoline so the dogs didn't smell him. And then the dogs are coming in.
He set himself on fire to like scare them away.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was dumb.
That's right. The one Nazi where like the main Nazi guy, before boarding the plane to get away, shoots the other guy in the head. Like, were we supposed to feel any sort of way about that? Like,
I felt some sort of way because I thought he was going to be the one that lived, because I was like, why is this Asian man? I don't know what he was, but he was not.
He's actually Finnish, and I believe he is the son of the main character.
Hey man, the Mongols were everywhere.
Wait, the son of the main character? How's that?
Like, not in the movie, the actor.
Actor.
Yeah, like he's the actor's actual son.
That would be really funny if he was Corpy's son.
Dude, this whole time I felt some type of way, because I thought he was gonna live, because he kept having those moments where he's like, "No, let's take off our hat," because he got hung, and like, he's like, actually cool. I thought there was, and then I was like, "Dang, that is cold blooded." I was like, "Okay, yeah." And I see what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to fuel the rage of like, this main Nazi guy has to die, and it better be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Right, yeah. Fun. Again, goes back to the whole like, why did they make the Nazis the most interesting, like, and relatable characters? Truly.
Seriously. I wrote, climbing into a plane mid-flight. Let's just remember, this is about him getting gold back that was stolen from him.
I liked the shaking with anger before he went to go do it. He was like about to give it up. He like buried the gold for a second, was like, I'm going to put this behind me and just move on. And then he goes,
For those who are just listening, Jacob did something really cool. You should watch it on
YouTube. Then he unburies his gold and chases after the.
Almost couldn't find it. I was like, wait, where did he bury it again? It was like, it took way too long.
It's like the gold was actually over there. It was never gold at all.
Wow. That's the fun we had.
The whole movie was a dream.
I would have liked that better.
Honestly, same.
Yeah, then the final guy falling to his death, but he has time for a middle finger and a fuck you.
Dr. Strangelove reference there, too.
When the plane first crashes and all the dirt and debris
I don't know if you heard what I said, Alec. I said that was a
did.
Dr. Strangelove.
It was funny. I'm sorry. You wanted me to acknowledge it. Slater, that was a funny joke. Yeah, I did see the reference there. That's a good point.
Active listening goes both ways.
When the plane first crashes and all the dirt and debris was flying up in the air in slow-mo, I half expected to see his ragdoll body be with it in that shot. Like it was like plane crash, explosion, debris. I was half expecting the main guy's body to just be ragdoll flying through the air. It's kind of what the movie
Also, was
expected
that
me.
debris? Where did the plane go? Does anyone
That
have
was my next
that?
note. I
Fell
said,
in a hard swamp.
did the plane fucking disintegrate? Where was the debris when the smoke cleared? It was
It's
gone.
actually the deepest
See,
swamp ever.
we should all-
and it's
we
only
should-
in
we should-
Finland, maybe. I don't know
we
where he
gotta
ended
do-
up to, by the way.
We also established this man can already knows how to fly a plane. Why are we
Yep.
not?
Yeah.
What happened?
'Cause
I
it
get
was
it.
running out of
He
gas?
shot the engines and they're wearing out. Sure, but
He survives it, of course. Like the plane poofed out of existence around him, but he's just laying there.
well, he had a seatbelt on, so that's how he survived.
Insane.
That's what I told
Oh,
him.
yeah.
did he have a
remember?
seatbelt?
Yeah,
I
he,
thought
like,
he just grabbed his
he
back.
wrapped
he
himself.
wrapped his arm around it. It was just
Oh.
He wrapped his whole self. And
The whole movie was just a seatbelt PSA.
yeah, I think so. But he was facing the other way than we usually sit, so maybe if we all just turned
That's the
Mm.
key. You have to fly on planes backwards.
Unsafe
and,
at any speed.
and land in a swamp.
Land
You'll
in a
live,
swamp.
land in a swamp.
I would have loved if Shrek came out.
What are you doing? But you got to do it in Finnish.
Hey now.
There's the edit of the movie that we need to see.
Gold.
But yeah, what did you guys think of like the? What else did you think about like that entire last action sequence and all that kind of stuff?
It was great when it ended.
What do you mean? Oh, just the plane stuff?
Yeah, like the chapter 6 section, like you know.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. He although I guess his weakness is a belt or whatever he used to like slap him so many times. I guess that's our hero's weakness is a whip. So glad we found that out.
That's his kryptonite. It's literally a
Is a
yanked out
seatbelt.
seatbelt. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cool how he was able to attach him to the nuke, or not nuke, but to the bomb so quickly. That was fun. That was a fun little moment.
If that was a nuke, it would have been a very different movie.
Yeah,
That's true.
We accidentally dropped a bomb on Hiroshima. The Finnish actually did. That's an accident.
And then what happens after that? He goes to the bank.
Yeah, so that's chapter 7. That's the conclusion of the story.
He
And
got
the only
his
note I had-
dog.
Yeah, so that's literally the only note that I had for it is how did he find that dog? He like left it in the middle of nowhere when he flew off in the plane. How did he find it? Like when
Well,
he
I
was
feel like they actually didn't travel that far. Like it feels
Yeah.
like
I think it's a little
couple
back
of
and
miles.
forth because he went. Yeah, I don't know. And also, he left the dog in the area where he knew. Like that seemed like his hometown ish or whatever. So I assumed
something like
But
that.
still, that was a lot of like. Yeah, how did you just get out of a swamp and go? All right, home is that way. Go back that way. And where did he get the bike?
he went back for the bike.
Yeah. He went back for the bike, back for the dog. He knew where it all was. But yeah, that's when he spoke his first lines of dialogue as well, which, I was appreciative that it's weird though, but I was appreciative with the fact that he actually spoke in his native language as his only words. It was like subtitled where like the Germans were just speaking English the entire time
Why do you
But-
appreciate that?
because there's at least a little bit of authenticity to it. I don't know.
I really did expect this movie
grasping
to
at
be,
straws.
What'd you say, Jared?
I didn't expect this movie to be in English. I was like, why? Why would you do
Yeah.
this? Why would you? I don't know.
Well, because the creator is also Finnish. Like he
Yeah, why wouldn't
is-
you just do it in your
He
language,
needs
man?
to
Like,
finish his film career.
like you made this for
Wow.
us? Why?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, okay, so is this? I'm like, I went to. Okay, so are Americans the Nazis? Is that the point he's trying to make, or like, what is the?
So
what's that fundamental
clever. Wow.
moment? Wow.
He must be really intelligent.
Yeah, the one piece of trivia I did want to mention about the movie, apparently one of the inspirations for the film was the real World War II sharpshooter Simo Häyhä, who fought against the Red Army and who is believed to have killed over 500 enemy soldiers during the Winter War, which is why he is often regarded as the deadliest sniper of all time, known as the White Death. So that was apparently the inspiration for this character.
Yeah, everybody had a Sergeant York in World War II. Even though Sergeant York was World War One. Whatever, you know what I meant.
I do know what you
we
meant.
got
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
What was your, if you could try and pinpoint it, what would you say your favorite part about the movie was as a whole? Trying to think of something positive.
I think only the beginning before you knew
Like the
what was
chapter
going to
1
happen.
segment.
No, just when you were just not sure of what's going to happen. I think that was the best part. The setup, because
The not
setting
knowing.
it up,
Yeah,
not knowing.
when you didn't know that this was a stupid movie.
Yeah, just like, oh, this could be anything. Ooh, cool shots, a horse, a guy. Where is he? Who is he? And then you're like, oh.
What about you, Slater?
Credits.
Jacob?
To be honest, I'm struggling. I'm sure there's parts of the movies where I was like, oh, that was fun. Like I did like him getting strapped to the bomb real fast. That was a fun moment. But I'm glad the dog lived. That's where like I ended the movie. I was like, I'm glad that one of the animals made it out. I'm sad it's not both of them. But
Fair.
It's always a cheap shot to kill an animal in a movie. I mean, I get John Wick is self-aware about it, which is what makes it fun. Like John Wick, they knew exactly what they were doing. Like it was crafted in the laboratory. But yeah, it's just always cheap, in my opinion.
Yeah.
also, really cute dog.
Adorable dog.
Cute dog.
Just so
And
dirty.
Disgusting. Yeah, that's definitely a crusty-eyed white girl dog. Alec, I did think of one part. When the mine connects with the guy's head, I actually laughed. This is the one time in the movie I felt anything other than disdain.
Yeah.
So it made me chuckle some.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I guess mine kind of relates to Jared's point too, where it's like, yeah, just like the show don't tell aspect of the beginning portion of the movie I enjoyed, where like the uncertainty was there, where the movie that you make in your mind about this movie is gonna be better than what the movie actually was.
I think it did a good job of experimenting with different effects and using different styles of action sequences and trying to piece those together. I applaud them for doing that, which maybe this movie was just an experimentation. Maybe the second one is brilliant. But I don't know.
I ain't
Jared
gonna find
doesn't
out.
hasn't. Add it to the list for our next rando.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
If you guys were to give this movie a letter grade, what would you give it?
Okay, if this was an educational system, I'd probably give it a C or a B. They did a great job technically. The story parts were lacking, which is why they're not getting an A. The physics part also taking it out of the B range, so more of like a C.
Yeah, I'll give it a passing D.
Like D plus? Is that what a passing D would be?
Sure, because it was definitely a movie that was made.
Yeah, I would probably say C as well. It's hard to say like B minus, but
yeah,
I think just a C. Like,
yeah.
It's just one of those movies you would have on, like, you're in a hotel or something and it's on TV. You're like, oh, okay. You wouldn't pay to go see it. You wouldn't, unless the generator chooses a movie for you. That's the only time you end up seeing this movie.
I will say I would not have watched this movie if it wasn't for this episode.
Honestly, same. I was looking for an excuse to watch it, but I didn't. I'm regretting that.
I think it was hard to watch it so seriously too, to be like, okay, I have to talk about this, and I have to come up with things to say other than I just hate it, which isn't true. There are things I hate a lot more than this movie.
Oh yeah,
I don't think there's
100%.
any movie I'm ever gonna look at and be like, wow, this is the most hated thing in my world, because there are so much more things to hate in life rather than movies. So
yeah, I'd give it a solid C, like just average. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I'm not going to watch it again, but it's not even a movie where I'm like, oh, you should watch it at least once, blah blah blah. Like this isn't a movie that I know anyone that I would recommend it to.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just had its good moments. It was fun. C. Like, I don't feel bad enough about it to give it a D.
When was it fun?
when the mine got hit on the guy's head.
Okay, that one part. Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
I also
yeah.
think
Underwater thing was fun too.
those shots, I thought it was really pretty too.
Mhm.
I also think it's really wild that this was made in 2022. Like, I think that's the saddest part, because if this was like 2012, 2011, something, we probably would have been like, whoa, like, you know, it might have
True.
been. But for you to just take everything that's been made over the last 20 years and go, let's make this, you know, because he just stole from everybody. That's all he
Yeah.
did. That's literally.
Not even in a good way.
No, he literally did Tom Cruise, like, oh, he was on a plane, let's throw this guy on a plane. Yeah,
I might
crazy.
eat my words on this, but I would rather watch Rubber again
Mm.
than have watched this movie one time.
I love Rubber. Rubber was awesome.
It was awesome in ways. I found Rubber more enjoyable than this movie.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I watched the trailer after the movie because I was curious from what I remember about the trailer for the movie compared to what I saw. And I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer before, because after watching the movie, it basically gave away all the story beats, like everything that happens. And so, yeah.
There are some interviews that I had queued up that I was going to watch with the director talking about the movie and stuff like that. And I kind of wish I had watched them before, because then I would have probably felt more of a certain way about it. But now I just don't even want to watch the interview, because I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to hear what he has to say.
Don't care enough about it.
Yeah, how are you going to justify yourself?
Right. But then it's like, if he says something that's going to piss me off, then I'm just going to be more angry about it, and I don't need to give this movie any more time in my day.
Any other final thoughts, guys?
What do you guys think was the thesis?
I thought about that a lot, and I can't give you an answer.
Okay. It's a bummer that Alec didn't ask that question. But what were you going to say, Jared?
It's all about the money. Money drives us, and money is always worth killing Nazis for, or anyone that stands in your way. So,
capitalism.
That's not a theme. Alec, that's a word. Capitalism is not. Themes are statements of like declarations.
Well, you didn't ask for a theme. You asked for a thesis.
Okay, that's also not a thesis, Alec.
Oh, okay. So I do actually have some thesis thoughts, I suppose, that I did write down. Let's see. I said, as far as like themes, you're hinting at resilience, futility of war, greed versus survival, but you never really committed to any of those themes, so it is also about none of those things. It shifts the meaning of the gold constantly, so it's like, okay, what are you weighing human value against? But I was just I was stretching. And then closing thought I had was, I don't need everything to mean something, but if you act like it does, then you better back it up with something.
Agreed.
So.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jacob, on that point, you could say that the central theme was that gold is more valuable than life, if that life is Nazis who speak English. I don't know. Which, like, that's fair. That's a fair assessment, I think. It's also weird.
I just hope that this movie was like an experiment for someone to like test some technology or figure out some things, because otherwise, why does it exist?
Yeah, I think it was just a high dollar art student film, not art film, student film. I was trying to think about it too, Jacob, because I was kind of in a little bit of a bind with this one, but I was trying to. I think the way that I could like conceptualize it is if that like corpy guy isn't actually a human. He's just sort of like the spirit of victory in a way. But even then, that doesn't make the movie more interesting. It's just kind of it leaves it neutral. But that was all I could kind of drum up.
Well, yeah, when you have like an unkillable character, how do you make a story interesting out of that? The only way that you can really make a story interesting is by putting them in a situation where they have to protect somebody who is killable. And most of the time in media, that's what ends up happening. And so regardless, it's going to be predictable. It's going to be unentertaining because you already know what's going to happen.
I don't think predictability makes it unentertaining, though. I think it's just a lack of vision behind it.
It made this one.
Yeah, maybe. But there are really good movies that are predictable, so I don't think that's like the central like the nugget of problem with this one. I don't think that's the radioactive part of this movie. But what did you say your thesis? Or you didn't have a thesis? Do you have one, Alec? Now that you've heard all of ours, maybe you could just ride one of our coattails.
Nope, you guys nailed it. See, why do I need to ask these questions later when I know you're just going to ask them anyway?
It was the
Speaking
most
of nailed
interesting
it.
question you could have asked.
That's subjective.
Speaking of nailed it, did you guys like when he stuck a nail into his own leg
No.
to
It was so good.
breathe?
I just screamed, "Why?"
That's
Right.
literally that was literally one of the notes that I said. Is like, why? I don't need to see that. Like, all right, we're gonna take a quick little ad break, and then when we come back, we're gonna wind down for the day.
Look at Alex's hairline. Damn, that's pretty cool. Honestly, just want to take a moment and tell the world that he has great hair. He's a handsome dude. He doesn't look like a nerd when he wears his glasses. And look at that smile. Just look at that smile. God damn, that's a handsome fella. Let me glaze my boy here for a second. He's intelligent. He's cute. He's got a great heart, even though he's tired. But you know why he's tired? The man has the work ethic of an ox. He really is a good boy. Everybody gas up Alec for a minute. Imagine running a whole family, managing a business, and making time every week to put out a podcast? The man is putting in the effort. We love him. You should love him too. A round of applause for Alec, everyone. What a fucking stud.
In a world of toxic men, be a man who cries. It's okay to cry, men. Life is hard for you. We know it's not easy. We know it's why you cope with drinking and video games. But sometimes you need to cry, which is why you should call me, your local dominatrix. If you're having trouble crying, boy, do I have a product for you. It's a vision of the future, and it's called a stiletto heel stamping your nutsack forever. That'll make you cry, you big baby. No one respects you, so cry while I slap your pathetic lily-white pancake ass with my paddle. You like that? You like tears? You like how the spiked chastity belt I put on you makes it hurt to get an erection? Now, doesn't that feel better? You let it all out, and with the tears, you release your toxicity. Now you are a functioning member of society. Now you can go to work, meet with colleagues, and stop fantasizing about workplace violence. All you needed to do was let it all out and just cry a little.
Thank you, Alec.
Terrifying.
And welcome back to the Dying Carcasses podcast. For our wind down question, it kind of related to the last point that I made about one of the last points that I made about the movie. What are your guys' thoughts on movie trailers in general for movies you're interested in? Like, do you prefer to watch the trailers? Do you prefer not to watch the trailers? Because a lot of times, like this one being the example for me, like it just gives away most of the movie. I feel like if I had watched the trailer for this movie before watching the movie, I would have been less interested in seeing it. And so, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I actually disagree from a personal perspective. I watched the trailer and went, okay, this could be a really fun art film, or it could be a fun. I kind of got to make up whatever assumption I wanted to make about the movie going into it, which actually made me excited to watch it. And then I was left disappointed. But as far as like how I feel about actual movie trailers, I like teaser trailers personally, where if you can capture me with the teaser, that's all I really want, and then I'll be interested in the movie. I don't really want too much of the narrative. I like going in blind. It's like reading a book. I don't want to read the back of the book. I just want to open it and read it and figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel very similarly where if there's a movie I'm genuinely interested in, like I'll watch the trailers for it because depending on the genre, it definitely gets me more excited. Other movies where like I get more excited to watch them when I hear about them word of mouth. Like when I hear people who I trust their opinion talk about a movie saying watch it, I am less likely in those scenarios to watch the movie trailer because I prefer to go into it blind. I want to, in a lot of ways, make up my own mind about the movie, and it's harder to do so, I feel, for certain movies when I'm watching the trailer first.
Kind of in the middle between you and Jacob, because the teaser trailers I think are my usual go-tos, and it's not like I'm going to search it online, but it'll pop up, you know. But I really don't like watching trailers because I've been really screwed over by a lot of them. But it really depends on the directors, you know, because I think a lot of these other not big directors, they really just put the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
And some of them I like watching when I don't know what's going on, like I wasn't super interested anyway, but it was the Robert Pattinson movie and Zendaya, the drama. I
I would like to
didn't know
see
what
that.
that was about, and I was like, watch the trailer. I was like, okay, I'm kind of interested now, you know, when I really don't know what's going on. But yeah, most of the time I really do like watching the teasers. At least I still will never forget the teaser trailer for freaking Dark Knight, and it was just the
Yes.
Batman symbol coming up, and all it was just audio from everybody, and it's just like, yeah, that's all you kind of need sometimes, you know, if you do
Yeah.
it right.
I remember that. Like, it ends with the line, "Some men just want to watch the world burn."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was a good one.
I guess I'll represent the opposite. I used to like going into movies without seeing a trailer or a teaser, but movies were considerably better at that point that I was doing it. At this point, sell me. If you want me to spend my money and my time to see your crappy product, sell me on it. So I'm very pro trailer at this point. If you can't sell me on it, I'm not going to even take a gamble. You know what I mean?
That's true, because if I don't see a trailer, I'm just not going to go to it.
Exactly.
So I agree with that opinion.
Slater, what was the last trailer that sold you on the movie to want to go see it?
Covenant, Guy Ritchie movie with what's his name from Prisoners, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, it's all right.
Covenant.
It's all right. Covenant.
Covenant.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's about an interpreter and a soldier.
Oh, that was recent. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Okay,
It was exactly what I was thinking it would be, which was cool. But yeah, it's fine.
Gotcha. Okay, Jared, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, did you guys hear about the mess with the Project Hail Mary trailer? Apparently, those who read the book and saw the trailer, they're like, they told everybody to not watch the trailer because it will spoil the movie. Like, probably one of the most crucial parts in it. And I was like, oh crap, because I was super excited to watch it. Because I don't know anything about the book or anything. I just, you know, just happy to see Ryan Gosling. And then I saw that, and I told Annika, I was like, don't watch the trailer, apparently. Because, dude, that hurts. I don't know what it was yet, but
was it the alien?
I don't think so. I think it was something else, like a.
Have you guys seen the movie yet?
Turning Point or something. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched the trailer for that one. I've seen like little clip, like you know how they'll throw out like accolade trailers where it's like, this is the best movie I've seen, says the Wall Street Journal or some shit like that. Like, I've seen little clips of that, but I haven't watched the actual trailer. I am curious to see it though, because
I think I read a little blurb too. What's the movie with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya?
The drama, yeah.
The drama. I had read about audience members being upset about the fact they watched the trailer and then the movie ended up feeling different than the trailer, or there was like a tone shift or like a twist in the movie that they weren't expecting because the trailer didn't reveal it.
That's good marketing.
And then I haven't seen it, but I thought that was good marketing. But they were people that were upset about it, and I was like, "Well, isn't that what you want?"
No.
That movie?
I got spoiled about it, and it's like a pretty like touchy subject.
Yeah, I heard about it too.
You heard it, yeah, and I was like, "Oh, okay," which made me honestly more curious to see it.
Right.
I was like, "How does this tie in?" But yeah, it's pretty big.
That's what I'm saying. The people being upset is the marketing, man. I mean, think about what they did with Black Panther. Think about what they did with Wonder Woman. Those are like two like profoundly conservative movies that conservatives were certain was going to be not conservative movies, and the outrage drove audiences to them. You know, and Joker too. That's another one where they're like, people were like, "It's a socialist movie," and it's like, no, this is the most like lukewarm milquetoast socialist movie you could ever. Or no, they thought that, no, sorry, it was the opposite. They thought it was going to be a white supremacy movie.
Yeah.
And if it was the most milquetoast white supremacy movie ever made. But yeah, no, that's part of the marketing is outrage. Like, you want that. That's why they have. I'm convinced that's why they have test audiences these days. Isn't to actually see if anybody likes the movie, but to see who doesn't like the movie. and then reframe why they don't like it into something that will drive people to come see it. It's evil. I hate all of this stuff. I hate media. I hate movies.
Yeah, the last note I wanted to say about trailers in general is like people and their viewing experience with trailers is kind of wild, because one thing I remember about like a trailer is that somebody sued a production over the fact that in the trailer of a movie, Ana de Armas appeared in it and she was in the trailer. But then when the guy went to go see the movie, it turns out that all of her scenes were cut. And he specifically wanted to go see the movie because she was in it. So he sued the movie company or whatever it was. He sued somebody over the fact that she wasn't in the movie.
No, I think that's dumb. But technically, it is false advertising.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. He's like, that's
Yeah.
really gross, though. I like to be openly like, I'm only gonna see a movie with Ana de Armas.
Might have been a good
Nothing else
excuse if it was a smart enough dude. Like if I was smart enough to recognize that, I would have done the exact same thing, bro.
Mhm.
I feel
Here's
like
what
he
it
could have
says.
won, honestly, though.
Well, here's what it says. Two fans sued Universal Pictures for $5 million in 2022, alleging false advertising because Ana de Armas appeared in the trailer for the movie Yesterday, but was cut from the final film. The case, which set a precedent that trailers are commercial speech, was settled in April 2024 for an undisclosed amount after the plaintiffs faced significant legal fee penalties. So they ended up settling. So they got some form of amount of money for it, but
Probably
I don't know
got quite a
much.
bit.
I would have just asked for like my money back, but
I think it's
5 million seems like a stretch.
there is something vigilante about taking on a production studio that I can only respect, honestly.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would start 5 million, then oh no, they're only gonna give me 2 million.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Logically, yeah. Logically,
didn't
yeah.
get
But I
what I
feel like
deserve,
I
but
would
I'm
respect
okay.
you. I feel like
That's
I'd
the way
respect
to
you
do
way
it.
more if you're like, oh, I want my $40 back. I'm gonna sue you for my
We're going to
$40.
court for this shit.
Yeah.
Legal fees, screw it. 40 back. That's all I want.
See, that
And
needs
I
to
wanna-
be our grift, guys. We need to start doing this. Just going to see every movie and every trailer and just making sure that the trailer's legit.
I hate
And then
that
we
so
make
much.
our millions, baby. Oh, I'd love to do it, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's no art anymore, so I
We
don't
would
care.
have to watch Sisu too.
I'll do it. I'll sue Finland.
The entirety of Finland over the one Finnish director.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, were those Nazis really German? Let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Were those Nazis really Nazis? This is inaccurate representation.
All right, thank you guys for listening. We post new episodes every Friday on YouTube and Spotify at We're Not From Here Media. You can find our clips on Instagram and TikTok at We're Not From Here Media, X at WNFH Media. We stream on Twitch together and separately. Alex Not From Here, Slater's Not From Here, Jacob's Not From Here, and Jared's Not From Here. I can't remember who I forgot to list in that list. Also, we have a Patreon. Be sure to sign up at We're Not From Here if you would like to see exclusive content you can't see anywhere else and listen to episodes before they come out on other platforms. Be sure to give us 5 stars, like our content, and subscribe on all platforms to be up to date on everything we post. You have been listening to The Dying Carcasses. Thank you.